Good morning, students. This is your Maths 1 online teaching session. In the previous session, we have finished with the second chapter, that is real numbers. Today, I am going to start a new chapter, ratio and proportion. Okay? This is not a new term to you, ratio. So, let's recall quickly what we have already learned in lower standards and few important things that you need to remember. Okay? Now, when I say the word ratio, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Ratio means yes, upon. Yes or no? Ratio means upon. If I say find the ratio of 2 and 3, what are you going to do? You are just going to write 2 upon 3. Yes? Okay. So, if I want to define ratio, how will I define it? A ratio says how much of one thing there is compared to another thing. It's like a comparison. Yes? Now, few important things. Ratio of two numbers A and B is written as, I hope you know this, it is written as A is to B. This is to means ratio, or you can simply write it as A upon B, where A is called as a predecessor, first term, and B is called as a successor. These two are new things that you need to learn. That when you say A is to B, then A is called as a predecessor, the first term, and B is called as a successor. Now, one more important thing, I hope you know that in ratio of two numbers, if the second term is 100, then it is called as a percentage. Percentage is a special ratio where the denominator is 100. Okay? Then, the ratio remains unchanged if its terms are multiplied or divided by non-zero number. Okay? So, when I multiply or divide ratio by non-zero number, it remains unchanged. The quantities taken in ratio must be expressed in same unit. This is very important point. You cannot compare height with weight of something. Both should be height or both should be weight. Yes? The ratio of two units to two quantities is unitless. Now, in order to understand this, I have given you an example here. See, the ratio of 2 kg and 300 grams. First thing is, are they in the same unit? No. So what should we do? We should convert them into same unit, right? And second thing is, when I take the ratio, will it become unitless? That is what I need to check. So kg and grams, let us convert it in same unit. It is easy to convert kg into grams, as 1 kg is 1000 grams. So 2 kgs will be 2000 grams. Yes, this is also grams, and 300 was also grams. Correct? So when I take the ratio, the first thing what will happen is this unit will get cancelled. That is the reason it is told that ratio is a unitless quantity. Yes, it is unitless. Now, 2000 grams, 2 kg is 2000 grams and it was 300 grams. So when we take the ratio, what we will get? 2000 is to 300. First thing is 0, 0 will get cancelled. Again the 0 and 0 will get cancelled. What is left is 20 is to 3 with no unit, because that grams and grams will already get cancelled. That is the reason it is told that it is unitless. So two important points to remember, that when you are taking ratio, it should be in the same unit, and the final answer is unitless. Now based on this, let us start with the practice set sums. Okay, so this is the first practice set, and question number 1. From the following pairs of numbers, find the reduced form of ratio of first number to the second number. Now these are very easy sums. You simply have to divide. So let us quickly start solving it. I hope you are writing it in your book. I want you to start with this exercise, and you want to write those important points. You can write as important points to remember and start with the chapter. Okay, so please write in your book so that your books are complete. See the first question. 72 is to 60. It is as easy as 72 upon 60. I have shown here that I am going to divide by 12. If you don't want, you can simply divide and get the final answer. The HCF of 72 and 60 is 12, the highest factor which can divide. Yes, so 12, 6 are 72 and 12, 5 are. So the answer is 6 is to 5. I hope you understood. It is simple division when we take ratios. 38 is to 57. What is the HCF, the highest common factor? 19. If you know the table of 19, 19 2s are 38 and 19 3s are 57. So when I divide it by 19, what will I get? 2 is to 3. So the final answer is 2 is to 3. Now 52 is to 78. Now I don't expect you to learn the table of 26, of course. You can start dividing by 2. Correct? If you feel the numbers are difficult or bigger numbers, you can start dividing by 2. I have divided here by 26 directly. It's 26 2s are and 26 3s are. So the answer is 2 is to 3. See this. I hope all the three sums are clear to you. Yes? So please write it and let us move to the next question. These examples are based on simple division. That is the reason I will do few more sums in this. Okay? See this question number 2. Find the reduced form of the ratio of first quantity to the second. Now first quantity to the second, same type again. It's 700 rupees. I have to concentrate on units here now. These both are in rupees, so no problem at all. You can directly divide 700 by 308. Correct? Now easy way of doing it and quickly to get the answer is, I hope you know how to find HCF. Find the HCF of both the numbers and divide by it. You will immediately get the answer in reduced form. You don't have to keep on reducing and reducing. HCF of 700 and 308 is 28. So divide both the numbers by 28, you will get 25 is to 11. Whenever you are finding ratio in its simplest form, try to get the HCF first and then divide by the number. You will get answer quickly. Okay. Now next question is 14 rupees and 12 rupees 40 paise. Now look at the units of this. This is in rupees, okay. The next one is having rupees and paise together. So let us convert it into first same unit. Okay. Now I hope you know the conversion of rupees into paise. That will be easy. Yes. So what we will do is 1 rupee is 100 paise. So that is what I am going to do. I am going to first convert this 14 rupees into paise. I told you 1 rupee is nothing but 100 paise. Yes. So what we will do, we will multiply 100, 14 by 100. We will get 1400 paise. Same thing, I will next convert 12 rupees. Correct? 12 rupees is how much? 1200. I am multiplying this 12 into 100. And already there was 14 paise. So add 14 to it. So we'll get 1200 plus 40. So what should be the answer? 1240 paise. Correct? Now both are in the same unit. Both are in paise, 1400 and 1240 paise. Now you can take the ratio and divide it. When you divide it, you will find the answer is 35 is to 31. HCF of 1400 and 1240 is 40. So dividing both by 40. See here. Dividing both by 40, what do I get? 35 by 31. Okay. 35 is to 31. This should be the final answer. So what we have understood from this, if they are in the same unit, you directly divide. If they are not in the same unit, first get them in the same unit and then divide it. Okay. Now I hope you have understood these two sums of the next question. Let us move to the next question. The next question is 5 liters and 2500 ml. Now see this, one is in liters and one is in ml. So let us convert it into same unit. That is easy to convert is to convert it into ml, milliliter. 1 liter is 1000 ml. So 5 liter will be 5000 ml. So that we will do first. And next was 2500 itself. So divide this. When we divide, what do we get? Yes, 5000 upon 2500. It is as easy as 2 is to 1. 2500 when you multiply by 2, you will get 5000. So the final answer is 2 is to 1. Okay. Now look at the next question. The next question, if it is asked, it will be asked for 2 marks. Why? Because there are so many steps and so many conversion. Right. It is 3 years, 4 months. 5 years, 8 months. Now either I convert everything into years or everything into months. Easy to convert will be year into months. I hope you know this. 1 year is 12 months. So let us convert year into months. First one, 3 year, 4 months. Correct? It means that it is 3 years plus 4 months. 3 years is what? 3 into 12. I am converting it into months and already 4 month was there. So 3 12 is 36 plus 4, that is 40 months. First thing is converted. Convert the second one also. 5 years and 8 months. First of all, 5 years plus 8 months it is. Right? So how to convert? 5 into 12 and add this 8 to it. So 60 plus 8, 68. Now I have got both into same unit. 40 months and 68 months. Now you can take the ratio of it. So when you divide it, you will find HCF is 4. Both the numbers, the highest common factor is 4. So 4 tens are and 4 17s are when I divide it by 4. So answer is 10:17. I hope you are understanding it. So 3 years 4 months is to 5 years 8 months is nothing but 10:17. I hope you know why I am not writing here months or years, because both are in months. See this, and when I divide it, yes, both are in months, and when I divide it, what will happen? Months will get cancelled. So that is the reason I told you ratio is unitless. Okay, now look at the next question. These are very easy ones, so maybe we are taking more. Try to solve it. Yes, express the following percentage as ratios in reduced form. Now these are percentage. I have to convert it into ratios. 75 is to 100 divided by 25. See, 25 3s are and 25 4s are. So we get it as 3:4. As easy as this. Hardly one more question. 44 is to 100. Divide both by 4. 4 11s are and 4 25s are. So answer is 11:25. Yes. Now next one. 6.25%. Now no other number is given, but in that place it is given percentage. I just now told you percentage is a special ratio in which the denominator is 100. So it is actually 6.25 upon 100. Yes, from where do I get this 100? This 100 means percentage. So it's 6.25 upon 100. First thing what I will do is I will get rid of the decimal point. So it is 2-digit decimal point here. Just look here, 6.25. So I am multiplying this by 100. So when I multiply this by 100, I have to multiply denominator also by 100. Yes. So what will happen? When I multiply this by 100, decimal point will remove. It will become 625. And then I multiply this by 100, I'll get 10,000 in the denominator. That is the reason I am getting here 10,000. I hope you are understanding. Here decimal point is removed and here 2 more zeros are added. Now this is as easy as 1s are and 16s are. If you don't know directly, I don't expect also to learn. Divided by 5, divided by 25, whichever number you are comfortable, you can divide by that. The answer is 1:16. The next question is 3 persons can build a small house in 8 days. To build the same house in 6 days, how many persons are required? Correct? Okay. Now let us understand this sum part by part. What are the two quantities they are talking here? Persons and days, right? 3 persons can build a house in 8 days. To build the same house in 6 days, how many persons are required? Persons required, if I take as x, number of days is 6. Try to understand this sum practically. When suppose we are building a house, that house can be built by 3 persons in 8 days. We feel that no, 8 days are too many. I want to complete the work in 6 days. Yes, I am reducing this number of days from 8 to 6. Should the number of people increase or decrease? Try to understand it on your own. Obviously, I have to increase the number of people. Yes or no? More people, the work done will be soon. So if 8 days I have to reduce to 6, number of people also I have to increase from 3 to some number 4, 5, 6, I will find out. Okay. So try to understand this. One quantity is decreasing, other one is increasing. You have learned inverse variation and direct variation. Yes, try to recollect when one quantity increases and other decreases, which type of variation is it? Inverse variation. Okay. Now see how the steps are written. Let the number of persons required to build the same house in 6 days be x. This I have told you I am going to assume as x. The number of persons and number of days required to build the house are in inverse variation. I have explained how it is inverse variation. Yes, I hope you remember that inverse variation, what is constant? Product. It means that product of number of days and persons should be constant. Now how to work that out? 3 persons. So 3. Product will be what? With what I have to take? Days. 8 days. Yes, should be constant means it should be equal to number of persons here I have assumed as x and number of days is 6. So 3 into 8 should be nothing but x into 6. Yes, so that is what is written here, and when we further solve it, we get the value of x as 24 upon 6, that is equal to 4. I hope you understood how we get this 4. Yes, okay. And after this, what we need, is the final answer. 4 persons are required to build the same house in 6 days. I hope all the steps are clear. What is important in this? First thing is you need to find out whether it is direct variation or inverse variation. Yes, in this one quantity is increasing, other one is decreasing. So it is inverse variation. And in inverse variation, what is constant? Product. Take the product, equate it, get the unknown quantity. These are the 4 steps to be followed in this sum. Okay. Now see the next question. Convert the following ratios into percentage. Now I have explained you what is percentage. Percentage, when the denominator is 100, the ratio is called as percentage. Now in this question what they are telling us, ratios are given, I need to convert them into percentage. It is as easy as multiply by 100. Yes, whenever you want to convert into percentage, you multiply by 100. So 15 is to 25. It means it is 15 upon 25. So I want to convert into percentage, so multiply by 100. 25 ones and 25 fours are. 15 fours is nothing but 60%. I hope you are understanding it. Whenever ratio is to be converted into percentage, you simply have to multiply by 100. Now look at the next 5th sum I have taken. It's 7 upon 16. Why this I have taken? Because when I multiply by 100, it is not directly getting cancelled. So try to find the highest common factor, cancel it. It is 700 upon 16. It's multiplied here. You can directly cancel also here. 4 4s are and 4 25s are. Multiply 7 into 25, divide it by 4. Okay, you will get the answer as 43.75%. Now this you divide and find out. I hope you understood this type of sums where ratios are to be converted into percentage. Okay. Now see the next question. The ratio of ages of Abha and her mother is 2:5. At the time of Abha's birth, her mother was 27 years. Find the present age of Abha and her mother. Okay. Now see, try to understand this sum. If I say at the time of your birth, your mother was 27 years. Correct? Right? I hope you are understanding it. Yes, at the time of your birth, your mother was 27 years. So how to get it in an equation form? Suppose your present age. Now in this sum, let us relate it here. The ratio of Abha and her mother is 2:5. First thing to remember is whenever you are solving ratio sums, try to take first step as common multiple x. Okay. So from here I am going to take, let the common multiple be x. So Abha's age will be, first term is 2. So it will be 2x. And mother's age is 5 here, ratio C. So mother's age will be 5x. Okay. So if this is mother's age and this is Abha's age, at the time of the birth of that daughter Abha, correct? What was mother's age? Mother's age was 27. It means that the difference between them is nothing but 27. I hope you are understanding. Today her mother is 5x, correct? At the time of Abha's birth, and Abha is 2x. It means when I subtract this 2x from her present age, it will be her age at the time of Abha's birth, that is 27 years. So how to form an equation here? 5x minus 2x is equal to 27. Yes, see the ratio of present ages of Abha and her mother is 2:5. Abha and her mother is 2:5. Let the present age of Abha and her mother be 2x. This is what common multiple I have assumed. 2x and 5x. Correct? Abha's mother's age at the time of Abha's birth is nothing but 5x minus 2x. That is equal to 3x. And it is given that it was 27. So you simply have to equate 3x as 27, where you will get x as 27 upon 3, that is 9. I hope you have understood all the steps. Yes. Find the present age of Abha and her mother. So 9. 9 is not the final answer. What you have to do is you have to multiply here. Abha's present age is 2 into 9, 18. And mother's present age is 5 into 9, that is 45. Yes. So this way you can calculate their present ages. I hope you have understood this. Okay. Now practice set 4.1, question number 7, question number 8 is omitted. Make a note of it. No need to solve those sums. Those are omitted sums. Okay. With this I end the session here and we come to the end of practice set 4.1. Remaining we will continue in the next session. Thank you.